whales. So welcome on board. Before we get going too far along, I am required to give you a brief safety talk. Let you know about the safety feature. 165 passengers, and we're in the fantail area. You'll find life jackets in the ceiling compartments above your head, throughout the main cabin, as well as underneath some of the benches. Sometimes we'll see red fox, coyotes. We've even seen wolves right from the tour boat before. We have both black bear along the shoreline. Grizzly bears, we do see them from time to time. Generally, the grizzly bears can help, that's for sure. This lake is fed by a couple different glaciers, maybe 45 Fahrenheit, something like that. So it's pretty icy cold water. Cutthroat trout. 3 different types of white flies was to sink it, and that's exactly what they did. Marina over in Emerald Bay, and they made a pretty great diving site. The boat sits right now at about 50 feet out on the other end of the tunnel. You find yourself standing on a cliff ledge, looking vertically 600 feet. One of those waterfalls is coming right out of that cliff, about 600-foot waterfall, so pretty neat. And because of all these obstacles, and I always wonder why. I think hiking is one of the best activities to do while you're here in the... Over the years, I've always asked the question, why don't more people go hiking? The number one country. And the simple reason being is because the sound of that bell, that little jingling noise, it's in the bottom of the food chain. Animals like whistling marmots, ground squirrels, pikas, a lot of those rodents, they will whistle. So you don't want to sound like the bear's lunch, just sound like a human. They know exactly what we sound like. They will move off the trail. They'll let you pass, they'll cause you no problems. And then the second is the human scent. And they begin to associate humans and snacks and food, whatever it may be that was left behind. And it's a very slippery slope for the bears. As soon as they begin to associate humans with food, they don't associate us as a food source. And so we try to keep it that way. The left-hand side. It's directly across from us. That, my friends, is the international border. That is the line separating Canada and United States. The boat, you can begin to see that now. You're going to see 2 concrete markers right along the shoreline here. If you line these 2 concrete markers up, one in front of the other, you will be directly in the middle of the border, sitting on 49 degrees north. So there it is right there. Those of you at the front of the boat can see that now. Those of you at the back, you have to wait about 20 seconds. National Park, Alberta, Canada. Everything on the other side of this line ahead of us. Glacier National Park, Montana, United States. It's right in the middle of the cut line. That's another one of those concrete markers way up at the top. It is. It's specified in an old treaty between our two countries. It says where the border exists, it must be visible, must be clearly marked. So in theory, you could follow that line all the way to the east, all along the 49th parallel, all the way to the Great Lakes, so Lake of the Woods, Ontario, Minnesota area. You could follow that line all the way to the west, to the Strait of Juan de Fuca, the Pacific Ocean. So wherever the border exists, it is supposed to be clearly marked. I know in areas like this, where people see it more frequently, they clear it more often. In some areas, I'm sure it doesn't get done very frequently, and it probably grows over pretty. It's supposed to be clearly marked along the entire border. Who does that work? It is the job of the... I'm hiking up and down this line, clearing it all by hand, using chainsaws and brush cutters, all sorts of different hand tools. And just sit back, relax, and enjoy. What are you doing? Good? Nice going with the wind, right? Not in your face. Began with a lightning strike. So it started by lightning. This is where that fire began. The typical southwesterly winds began blowing that fire towards us here in Waterton. Parks Canada officials, they were keeping a close eye on that fire. They knew that if the fire were to enter our national park, the way the wind blows down the valleys, they knew the town site would be in immediate danger. And that's exactly what happened. Parks Canada began fighting that fire, holding it along the park boundary for a number of days. Stone's throw away across the road was the old clubhouse. Built in the 50s in desperate need of major renovations, it's still standing. The fire went around it. So funny how that works. Out along the north boundary of Canyon, that's a good one. Cameron Lake, that's the other scenic drive, that's well worth your time. While you're here in Waterton, you can check out the Prince of Wales Hotel as well. Sitting up on the hillside in front of us. You can drive it to the Prince of Wales. I think they might charge for parking. Whatever you do here in Waterton, make sure you have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the weekend here in the National Park.